And no one called me up on it. No one noticed. 3 days a week, I did nothing but read Wikipedia pages because I couldn't access Facebook. It was interesting. That is literally the level of laziness most people experience. If you take out coffee breaks, cigarette breaks, chit-chatting in the office, most people do fucking nothing. I'm very sure you could fire 50% of the people in any company that the company is the other 50% is everyone's lazy. Big companies are inefficient because they haven't got time to do this. You're not going to have a hustle. You're going to have a few members of staff who are going to do and you're going to make sure that you're either making you money or they're saving you time. Now, if the amount of time they're saving you isn't enough, or they're not making enough money to cover their wages, they gotta go. You've got to be ruthless in this game. But this is how staff, this is the magic formula of staff. So when people say to me, I want to start a company, I need an assistant. I say, assistants will go. Oh, just to help me with things. What things? What things will they help with? How long do those things take? How much time is that going to save you? Why do you not have time to do this? Because you want to watch TV, because you need to relax, because you're afraid you'll burn out. Shut up. It's garbage. It's all garbage. You want to feel important and tell someone what to do. It's not how you get rich. This is the magic staff formula. Do they make me money? Do they save me time? Write it all fucking down, work it out, and if it ain't good enough, they gotta go. Simple. That is how you manage staff. I get asked so many questions about staff. Making me money, saving time. Done. Another thing that's important with staff is you have to teach staff your business ethics. So, whenever I have a member of staff, I argue with staff all the time. So everything must be done quickly. That is how I work. That is how I want them to work. Now, I am 100% certain that even if it's only by 1%, the fact that I am uncompromising in the fact I want things quickly, things get done. Or quicker. If I didn't say anything, it may take 10 seconds. If I complain, it may take 9 seconds. It may only be a tiny saving. But that is how I work. That is how the people I work with, I want them to work. Speed is everything. So when you get new members of staff on board as well, make sure they understand your business principles, especially number 1, because that is your business mantra, speed. So if you have a salesman and he's selling and he's doing fantastic, that's good. You can sit him down and say, you know what, you're doing a fantastic job, you're making lots of money. I'm very, very proud of you. Look, you're making this, you've done really well. So one thing I want to talk about is how you target. Yeah, you are hitting target, but when you're inputting information into the system, I think you can do that faster. Free up his time. If he does things quicker, he has more free time to sell more products and make more money. Speed. No one ever works fast enough. When I was fighting, jab cross, the basics is never quick enough. Fighting, there's no such thing as too quick. Everything must be faster all of the time. It's the same in your business. All of the time, faster. All of it, all the time. If your assistant is saving you time, if they work faster, they save you more time. If they have more time to do more things to save you time. Faster, all the time. Even if they're both performing, you still have to re-incentivize and re-alliterate point 1. Point 1 is super, super important. If you do that, you get more out of your staff, more money's going to be made, more work's going to get done. It's better for everyone as a whole. I learned this business. I learned this. I'm going to come down. Probably some of these points will overlap, but before television, I worked as a fishmonger. I was 15 was my first job. I used to carry boxes of ice and fish at 6 o'clock in the morning. Shit job. Carry ice. 6 in the morning. It's 9:65. It's horrible. It's horrible. So I'll do that. 15. You're 15. You're nothing. So I used to get up at 5, run from where I lived in Luton to the town center market. Run. Work 10 hours and then run home. That's how much energy you have in you. That's what I do. And the person I worked for was my uncle. My uncle worked there. His name was Keith. And he always used to tell me, faster, 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 faster. And I was always trying to move these boxes of fish as quickly as possible. And when I was moving all the boxes, I'd say, yeah, but if I finish it all, what's the rush? I'm here till 5 o'clock. He goes, no, faster, faster, faster. He'd always push me to finish it. And then if I finished everything, I'd have maybe 3 hours left. If I walked, it would take me to 10 hours. If I ran like crazy, it would take me 7 hours. So I'd have 3 hours spare. I say, now what do? He goes, there's always work to do, find work to do. I go, what do you mean find work to do? He goes, find work to do, find work. If I see you standing around, I'm gonna get angry, find work. That's what he used to say. I'd end up sweeping the floor or wiping the walls, cleaning the walls. But he was right. We're going to come to this point later on. If you do things quickly, you have more time to find work to do. And finding work to do adds up. I swept the floor, I wiped the walls, maybe someone came in, saw the nice clean, pristine walls, and bought some fish they wouldn't have otherwise bought. It was a tiny problem. The point is, the work got done quicker because I was being pushed to be fast. It got done, and then more work happened. Even if it was menial work, more work happened in the same time frame. More work got done. That made me more valuable as a staff member. That's how he valued me. You've got to be the same. Right. That's the first 10 lessons. We have 90 more. The first 10 lessons of the Hustlers University. I bet you're sitting there already in your minds. You're sitting there like, whoa, I've learned so much. I didn't think of it that way. Tate, you're a genius. We have 90 more. We've just begun. If you've watched this video once, I recommend watching it 2 or 3 times. These things need to sink in like second nature to you. You need to be able to recite them one by one. We've talked about how you start companies, what you prioritize in a company, how you make sure everything's done quickly, why that's so important, how you manage staff, how you find ideas to launch companies, what members of staff you can get. We've covered all this in the first 10 points. This alone is enough. This alone is worth the value of what I've taught you. And we've just begun. The first 10 points of the Hustlers University. If you watch this video, I recommend you watch it 2 or 3 more times before you even move on to number 2. If you want to move on to number 2, do it. But you need to pay attention to these because they are the basis of everything I'm going to teach you. Hustlers University, straight into it. Point 11, outsource cheaply. If there's something you cannot do and you need someone to do it, you need to outsource cheaply. You can either find a student, as I've discussed earlier, finding a niece, nephew, blah, 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 or find students. Students are fantastic because students need work to do for their fucking projects or whatever. Let's say you need a video. Find a film student. They'll do it cheaper than a film company. Find students or use Fiverr. Outsource cheaply. And never, the point 11 is, never hire, if you can avoid it, please do, don't hire another company to do your work. So as a company, let me remove my beautiful diagram. As a hustler, so I'm not trying to teach you how to be a CEO. I'm teaching you how to make $5 or $6 million a year so you can buy supercars and enjoy your life. As a hustler, you want to be here at the top. That's me. Wait, maybe there's some muscles. There we go. That's me with the big arms, with G. That's me. I'm the hustler. I'm the CEO. Underneath me, you might have to have one company. Let's say I develop an app. I need an app development company. But if I can help it, I'll hire a student to make my app. Ideally, you want individuals below you. You want this person who's your assistant. This person is your sales. This person does your app development or whatever. And it's all people. Maybe you will need a company below you to do something. So let's make this specific. Let's say I have an app company. And then let's say this person is, these are all people that do different things. Sales, assistant, sales. My relationship with the people is always going to be better and cheaper than my relationship with the company. Because a company is not interested in making you rich. And I know you think the people aren't either, but bear with me. A company is interested in making itself rich. They're very different things. So if I have, let's take an example as a website. If I need a new website and I tell a person who works for me to make that website, me and the person have a personal vested interest in such website. I can discuss with him personally, we can get it done. If I hire a company to make my website, it gets added to the list of work. And then this company thinks, how can we get more websites? Do you understand where I'm coming from? The person who's tasked with the website has one job, make my website. The company who's tasked with the website has 2 jobs, make the website and find more people who need websites. They need to do 2 things. And if they're smart, some of them are, if they had to choose between delivering your website on time or taking on more work and taking more money, they'll take the money. Their primary focus is not your site. Their primary focus is generating money. You understand there's a huge difference. This person's primary focus is completing his job for his boss. This person's primary focus is not completing the job for the boss. It's getting more money from somewhere else. It's nothing to do with you. Fair enough, they may have more people in different departments, blah, blah, blah. But that's still the primary goals of the individual. The primary goal of the individual, the primary goal of the company. Plus, the company's more expensive. So, you want to try and outsource cheaply. You want to have individuals you work with. Now, if an individual has a company, it's still an individual. If someone goes, I'm me, and I see that as an individual. I don't see big companies as people I want to work with. If I want a website, I don't want to go into some office full of people that have websites. I don't like it. I've never had a positive experience with it. It's always expensive. They always have other jobs, other things to do. Their primary goal is making money. They don't give a shit. Now, if you need something very specific and personalized, you can get a company help you. But in most cases, you try and work with people, and try and outsource cheaply, and try and use students. This is number 11. Nearly anything you need done, a student can do. You can find students, and students are, drum roll, broke, which means they work cheap. Find students. If you don't know how to do something, find a student who doesn't know how to do it. Try and avoid going to companies. Companies have a different objective than keeping you happy. If you have good staff under you, you become like a team, you become like family, everyone wants to work together, everyone wants everything to work. If you're a good leader, your staff genuinely want everything to work, and you genuinely want your staff to be happy. It's a happy medium. Everyone wants success. This company doesn't really give a fuck if your company fails. If you've paid the invoice, they don't give a shit. You've paid the invoice, they have to deliver a website, whatever. They've got 10 other people they're making websites for. Oh, your company fucked up, big whoop. Work with people with vested interests. Students, young people, try and outsource cheap. Try and avoid hiring another company to do anything. As a hustler, you want to have you at the top, individuals you can trust below you, and that is the happiest company structure. You don't want to be working with lots of companies. I know guys who try and start businesses, they hire a website company, they hire an accountancy firm, they hire this, that, and I was like, all it is you at the top, company below you, company below you, company below you, all trying to send you invoices and suck you dry. It's bullshit. Don't do that. You won't get rich very quickly doing that. Trust me. Point 13, and this is fucking important, and this is the biggest mistake I made with T2. Businesses won't last forever. I know you think your business will last forever, but it won't. And if a business won't last forever, you need to get rich quick and put yourself before the business. The biggest mistake I made with T2 is I was so desperate trying to keep it afloat that I wasn't taking any of my money. I bought a new car and I gave myself a little bit. But if I could go back in time, I would have milked that cow. I had money in the bank. But to keep it surviving, I didn't want to take so much money. I had to keep Dan's coke habit down. So I reduced the amount of wages we were taking, kept it low. So when it all blew up, I wasn't sitting on any money. I kept the company alive at the expense of me. If I could go back in time, by the time it all blew up, I'd be sitting on half of it. Look after yourself first. And this is very, very important because no business lasts forever. Doesn't matter what the business is. Even my TV advertising business that worked 13 years ago would never work today. Calling people on the phone trying to convince them about money when they can just quit YouTube for 500 pounds more viewership, and they can track the clicks and directly see how much money they're getting back, which you can't do with TV. I could never sell TV easily. Never. This is before Instagram, before social media, before YouTube. All this came along and killed TV. Now there's a few big brands left. Netflix, who even watches TV? That business wouldn't last anymore. I bet if you told blacksmiths 200 years ago that being blacksmith ain't gonna ever work again. People always get around. Blacksmiths aren't around anymore. Every single business is going to fail sooner or later. So if it's going to fail, make sure you get that money before it blows up. I have no problem with any one of my businesses going boom if it's already paid me. If all my cam girls quit, but I have $3 million, good. If I've taken all that $3 million and invested it in a big studio and reinvested all the money and made everything nice and then they all quit, then what was the fucking point? The goal of a business is to make you rich. This is the point of your business, to make you rich. The point of a business is not to have a business for vanity. The point of the business is to make you rich. Look after yourself first. Now, obviously, this is an equation. I'm not saying only look after yourself to look after your business. I'm saying take this in mind, keep it as a happy equation, and make sure you're getting that money. With T2, I made a mistake, and I kept funneling all the money back into keeping the ship afloat. And I didn't take enough of the money for myself. Kept investing in new staff, new computers, dumb shit. I was 20. All the lessons I'm telling you now are lessons I've learned. If I would have just taken the money, you know what? Get a deal in. All right, yeah, keep it going. Yeah, just take the money, take the money, take the money, take the money. By the time it blew up, I would have been sitting on 500 fucking grand. And I didn't. You have to look after yourself. A business won't last forever. So you have to take the money and get rich. Look after yourself. If you're thinking about, oh, maybe I need a new camera, maybe I need a new car, maybe I need new vans, whatever your business is, doesn't matter. Think about it, but also think long and heavy. Is that going to bring new money in? Let's look at video production business. Just come to my head. You have a video production business. You're filming in 4K. You want this new camera, it's still 4K, but it does all these extra features. Does the layman understand? Not really. If you can go to a meeting and tell them you're going to film in 4K, it's the same. That camera's 20 grand. I don't know. Do you spend the money on that camera or do you just pocket the 20 grand? I'm telling you what you do. You pocket the 20 grand. Because it's not going to get you any more clients. It's still 4K. You can just lie in the meetings and pretend your camera can do what that camera can do. You're not going to lose or make any more business. Take the 20 grand. It ain't going to add money in directly, so you don't need it. You need to be getting rich from your company. Look after yourself first, because when your company fucks up, you need to be able to say, okay, abandon ship. Woo! Abandon ship with fucking suitcases. Don't abandon ship. When I abandoned T2, I had nothing. And that was a mistake. I worked my ass off, sleepless nights, millions of dollars through the bank for nothing. Don't do that. Look after yourself first. This is point 13. A business won't last forever. You need to get rich quick and you need to take the money. Take the money for yourself. Don't run a business for vanity. Look after yourself. Get that money and keep it. If you have to choose between you and the company, most of the time you should be choosing you. Obviously it's a balance. You need to make sure your company's looked after. You need to reinvest in your company, blah, blah, of course. But still, you are the primary focus of your universe. Everything serves you, including your company. That's point 13. Don't make the mistake I made with T2, putting it all back in and not looking after yourself. There's a reason why you can actually put this in the course. Look him up, Sir Philip Green with BHS. Billionaire, bought BHS, which is a big clothing store in England, saw it was failing, took billions and billions for himself, let it fail, let everyone's pensions go under, let it sink. Once he realized, you know what do I do? Do I just make millions and billions for myself or do I save this company? Nah. He actually lost his lordship. Pretty evil. But the point is the same. As a billionaire, he understood. Me first, company second. So he milked it. Now there's another company. It's a toy store. And they ran up until Christmas Day. And they took all the money for Christmas. No, it was a catalog. Remember the catalog? There was these Christmas catalogs. I can't remember. There's these Christmas catalogs that you pay every month. And you build up this balance. And then before Christmas, you order all your presents and all the food from the catalog. And they ran up until Christmas Day. And then they closed. It took millions and millions. But the managing director, because the managing director ended up going to court, but he still got away with it. He took $7 million. He looked at his business and goes, you know what? I don't think this is sustainable anymore. I'm not going to put any more money into this shit. I'm going to take £7 million. I'm going to fuck it off. I'm going to deal with the big PR disaster. I'm going to go hiding, whatever. I've got $7 million. He looked after himself first. If he would have put that $7 million back in, the company would have gone bust a year and a half later and you'd have no money. Look after yourself first. Be ruthless with it. Take the money for you. There's no point in going through this stress for any other reason. So, Sir Philip Green, look him up. He did it with BHS. And you can also Google Christmas catalog bankruptcy. And you'll see both of these people, both times the managing directors took their money. Same thing with the big banks. When the big banks went bust, All the banking directors, you think they didn't take big money? When the big banks all fucked up, you think they didn't take their big bonuses first? The smart people know. Look after yourself first, look after the business second. The smart people know that. So as long as you're financially okay, as long as your bills are paid, your mortgage is paid, and you have money, everything's gonna be okay. Point 12. I've said this already, but I'm gonna say it again. Been over this, but I'm gonna stress it. Like I said, some of these points are gonna overlap a little bit because of the way I explain things off the top of my head. It's a fucking genius. I don't need to sit there and script this out. You can't fuck up if you don't spend money. This is key. It's very hard to fuck up if you don't spend money. Now, if you have a very successful business and you're sitting on lots of money and you don't upgrade your business and then you go out of business, that's a fucking shit. If you're a blockbuster and you're sitting waiting for the right videos and you're invest in your streaming service and you're fucking shit. But at the beginning of a company, as a hustler, if you don't spend money, it's very hard to fuck up. 99% of business fuck-ups are, I spent cash and I can't get it back. I spent cash and I lost it. I spent cash and now I don't have enough cash. If you don't spend, it's very difficult to fuck up. And this is why being broke is so liberating. I was happier starting businesses when I was broke. If you're watching this and you're broke and you're living at home with your mom, you are lucky. If everything goes wrong, you still have somewhere to sleep. You're still going to eat. You don't want to worry about a mortgage payment. You don't worry about car payment. If everything fucks up, you're still okay. If you're in a position where you're semi-successful, you have a BMW and an apartment, now you can't afford to fuck up. You're going to lose everything. This is the point. So, if you're not successful, things are even better. But spending money is the easiest way to go wrong. If you don't blow money, it's very hard to fuck up. And that's why we go back to the way I teach you to start businesses for nearly for free. Don't spend money. If you're going to spend money, spend it on what you spend it on here. Knowledge, information. I'm going to save you thousands, hundreds of thousands for what you got this course for. But in general, I see people and they're so happy to spend money. Don't spend your money because it's very hard to fuck up if you're not spending money. If you've got a hustle, it doesn't matter what it is, and it's bringing money in, yeah, and you're not spending money all the time, you'll be okay. Now, I'm not saying be tight. I'm not saying don't invest. I'm not saying be stingy. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying be careful and think, do I need to spend this money right now? And when you were to decide if you're going to spend money or not, the question is it going to make me more money? So, let's take our makeup brand. You have your makeup brand. I chose makeup because I don't know anything about makeup. So it's just a joke. You have your makeup brand. You have your website. You're doing some advertising, you've got a few YouTubers, makeup YouTubers using your products, you're doing some advertising, you're bringing in money, right? You're bringing in money. Right now, you're all working from home. You're from home, you've got boxes around your bedroom, you're working on a laptop, you're making money. Now, you have some money you can spend. How do you spend that money? I'm asking, why are you doing it? The answer is, you spend the money in a way that will bring more money in. So let's say you're semi-successful. You may sit and think, well, I want an office. I need to get an office. No, you want an office. You don't need an office. You're making money without an office. Setting up an office, is that going to bring in more orders? How will you be in an office? How is you being in an office when the website's exactly the same going to bring in more orders? It's not. It's not going to change anything. If you spend that money on more YouTubers talking about your products, you're bringing more money. Only spend money if it's going to directly, if you can see the clear path to how it's going to lead to more money in. Or don't spend it. Too many people fuck up because they just go, oh yeah, let me invest in, oh, I need an office, or we need I have this all the time with people, all the time. I get approached to this all the time. You need a back end. All the time. You need to spend, it was only 2 days ago, 15,000 to build me this super back end. Because I have the war room, which is all run on Telegram, all this box, so when someone buys a product, it automatically links to the Telegram ID, automatically adds them in and out. The war room checks what other products they have, links them into the right rooms in the war room, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I see how that would be useful, a huge, very complicated technical back end. But I don't see how that's going to bring more people in the front. I'm a millionaire. He wants 15 grand, which is nothing. I don't see how me having all this fancy shit behind my website at this current stage, maybe at a later date, is going to make more people buy from my website. So why do I need it? All I need is people to buy. I don't need this fucking back end, this big, huge back end for money. That may speed up things once they've already purchased. But right now, I'm doing everything manually with staff. The staff will come in when it's getting done. So why do I need to spend this money? It goes against my business principles. When someone explains to me how this back end will convince more people at the front end to buy, then I'll be interested. But until then, if I'm going to spend 15 grand, I'm going to spend it on bringing more people in the front door. Now, if I get overloaded and there's no possible way I can deliver on my products, I'm not happy. Until that happens, I am only interested in one thing: money in. What's the other lessons I taught you in the first 10 lessons? One of the lessons was what? What's a business? Business is this. This is a business. This is a website, ain't a business. Money in the bank ain't a business. A back end ain't a business. The only thing that's a business is this. Orders coming in. That is a business. The rest of it is bullshit fulfillment. This is your focus. As long as you have this, you will be okay. T2 succeeded for a year, and it would have been for many years, because of this. As long as you have this, nothing will go wrong. If this goes, you're fucked. You can have the best website, the best cash reserves, and the best back end in the world. If no one's ordering, you're gonna go out of business. If you have lots of orders, no cash reserves, and no back end, but people are buying and buying and buying, you've got a business. This is it. This is your focus. If you're gonna spend money, it has to directly lead to this. Don't fall for the geek shit, especially with the war room. I've had so many people come at me and go, oh, and it's going to be a program, and it's going to be geek shit, programming, blah, 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 and you're going to be able to see everything, da, da, da. Very interesting. I understand why that sounds like something I need. But I don't see how it's going to convince more people to join the war room. People join the war room because I'm me and I give value. That's why they join the war room. And manually, I make sure everyone ends up where they need to be. And it's fine. You could argue that this might speed things up. And that's going to go back to number one, speed. This is going to speed things up, give my staff more time. But I already do my staff time equation. Remember staff, time saving? I'm very happy with the amount of time that's being saved, the amount of money each member of staff's making me. I have a good equation right now for my staff. That doesn't need adjusting. My staff are all fantastic. Everyone I work with is G. So I don't need to invest a bunch of money. Plus, it's probably going to have a bunch of teething problems and not work properly anyway. So the point is, if you're going to spend money, be careful. And if you're going to spend money, you need to see a clear link to how it's going to bring more money in. Nothing else. This is your business. Nothing else is your business. The rest is bullshit. Number 14, reputation control. I get lots of questions of people to say, oh, what about, my reputation? People are saying bad things, etc., etc. To control your reputation is very, very simple. You need to do more good than bad. You're never going to have people 100% happy. But as long as in general you do more good than bad, you'll be okay. Also, you'll find that people don't often really go out of their way to slander you unless you really, really piss them off. And one of the easiest ways to piss people off is to ignore them. So, business, no matter how bad things are going, never ignore them. Even if they're blowing up your email and messaging you non-stop, I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy. Try and find a solution. People only get worse. Get bigger if they're ignored. Because if they're emailing you, then they're not writing all over blogs and forums and making their complaints public. They're complaining directly to you, which means you can manage it. So this is another very important thing about business. Everything I've taught you so far is obviously seen struggles along the way. And I learned the most important thing you can do to manage your reputation is to take all the criticism personally so they can't spread the criticism anywhere else. So if someone has any kind of problem, contact them and say, hey, you've got a problem, let's talk about this, see if it works, blah, blah, blah. Even if they're a complete unreasonable idiot, if you continue to email them back and forth and let them vent a little, they're very unlikely to continue to just spread crap all over the internet. That's the world we live in now. It's easy to find customers on the internet, it's easy to lose customers on the internet. reputation control, make sure you're prepared to speak to people even when they're being dicks. That's point 15, and this is very, very important. This is going to be a major way you should change your thinking in regards to business. So you've learned a lot of things so far, and you're about to learn something else. And I think I've mentioned this before on Twitter, and if you missed it, this is very, very, very important. You have to change the way you think about money. And you're going to change the way you think about money by only thinking about money all of the time. So I'll give you an example. 99.9% of people who go in a coffee shop and buy coffee and sit down. If I go in a coffee shop, I go in, I look at the prices of the coffee, I look at how busy the place is, I buy my coffee and I sit down, and then I think, if I had to run this business, would I make money? Is there a way I could run this business and make more money? How much do I think the rent is in this establishment? How much are these coffees? How busy is it here? Do they sell cakes and sandwiches to make extra revenue? Who are the main customers? Well, it's mainly businessmen. I can see there must be a business district across the road. Why are the waitresses or why are the people who work here not hot young girls to attract more men to come to this business? Think outside the box and look. If I were to open a coffee shop right next door, could I beat them? Are these coffees expensive? Are they cheap? Are they good? You have to start looking at every single business you interact with, every single one, and see how you would compete with it. Or if you had to run their business and you believe you make a profit. Because what you'll often find is just there's a lot of people making mistakes and you think you'll probably do better. You might not do it. So you need to sit, and when you're going through your normal life, you're having your coffee, you're sitting in fucking Star Cups, whatever. Obviously competing with multinational like that's very difficult. Any business you interact with, just start training your mind to view their business, how you believe it works, everything from rent, overheads, the product, profit margin, whether you think you can sell more, any tips or tricks are missing, everything from start to finish. Just have a look and see if you can work it out. You'll be surprised how much you learn about business. Self-taught. I do it with every bar I'm in, every restaurant I'm in, every coffee shop I go in, everything. Even simple things even things I know nothing about. Still, I look at the amount of cars they have around, I look at how much they charge me for my time, how much the labor is, how much I think they're charging low-level workers, where's the big boss, how much is he making? You need to start thinking about money and thinking about businesses like this. Every time you interact with one, you need to analyze it. Your analysis will get better and it'll get more precise. Obviously, there's some information you don't know. You don't know exactly what the rate is. You can estimate it. You should be able to estimate it. So this is one of the really important mind hack I teach anyone who wants to get serious about hustling and making money. You need to start approaching and looking at all businesses this way. Because what's going to happen is when you eventually open your own business, there's going to be some lessons that you identified, some mistakes you identified in the previous businesses that you're going to make sure you don't make. Whether you're opening a coffee shop or an online company, it doesn't matter what it is. You're going to identify the mistakes and you're going to change them. So even next time you buy something online, most websites nowadays are extremely streamlined. But still, if you identify a problem with the website, if you identify a problem with the email that comes afterwards, if you're unhappy with a particular aspect of customer support, if you don't like the packaging it comes in, whatever. Analyze everything and remember everything because you're going to use this stuff for your new company. So this is a very important mind hack. This is something you need to do permanently as a matter of habit. It's what rich people do. When they're sitting around money being made, when they're sitting around money being exchanged, because money's never made, money's only exchanged. When they're sitting around, they see money being exchanged, they work out exactly how and why and who's benefiting. This is something you need to start doing as a matter of habit. It's extremely important. Right, number 16. If you're working a job, you need to identify all the ways in which you can do your job better. A lot of people work their jobs and they don't try very hard. We've discussed this already about how lazy employees are. If you're an employee right now, you're probably lazy. So, you're working a job, you're not trying your best. Make a list of all the ways you could improve how you do your job. You could work faster, you could make more phone calls, you could care more about X, Y, Z. You could do the entire 9 hours without super long bathroom breaks where you disappear to sit on your phone, whatever. Make a list of all the ways you can improve the way you do your job. Then ask yourself why you don't do it. Why don't you work at 100% of your capacity? The main reason is probably because you're not incentivized to do so. I don't know about your job. Obviously, this is the Hustlers University. We teach you how to make money outside of your job. If you're in a job right now, and the fastest way you can do to get pay rise or increase your money is literally to sit there and think, I need X, Y, Z to be incentivized to do this job. I think you'll be surprised how often you go into your managing director or your, especially for smaller companies, your boss's office and say, look, here's the deal. I want to do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. I think it's going to make us a lot of money. I just want to say, if I'm right and it pulls off, let me prove myself first. Let me make the money first. But if the money starts rolling in, that's what I'm not going to do. they'll say, oh, okay. They'll call your bluff because you promised them money. When you go in there and you say that, all you've done is say, look, I want to make you some money. You say that to them, let the money start coming in, and they'll often reward you for it. If you're not doing your job to the best of your ability, you need to be doing something else. And if you're not doing the job to the best of your ability, you need to be using that time to start something on the side. So my work history, as you can tell, is very varied. For a long period of time, I worked, when I say long, about a year, I worked for a company called N2. N2 sold web advertising. It sold advertising, websites, SEO, Google AdWords, all that kind of thing. So we would call up companies and convince them they need a new website, or they need SEO, or Google AdWords, or hosting, blah, blah, blah. It was like an online advertising agency. This is a few years ago. At the same time I was working there, this is the company when I read Wikipedia three days ago. At the same time I was working there, I was pissed off that I wasn't a business owner anymore. I kept remembering T2 and all the mistakes I made at T2, and I wanted to start a television advertising agency again, but I couldn't afford to quit this job, and I also knew that it was going to be very, very hard to sell television advertising like I did a few years before, because this was, when I was selling it before, was just before the big credit crunch, remember that? Now we're in the height of the credit crunch, so it's going to be very difficult to get money out. So I decided to start a company anyway. I started a television advertising company called Vixels. Vixels television advertising, and what I would do is my brother would pitch television from home, and I would still work my normal job, and in between not doing any work in my normal job, I provide leads and fulfill leads, etc., etc. So not only am I working a normal job, I had another company on the side at the same time. And what was good about this is if I went to a company to give them a website, it was a particularly big company, and a company that could afford TV, then I pitched them for Vixels on the side and called them electricity. So simultaneously as doing my job, I was running another company. Now Vixels never really took off. I landed 3 or 4 deals. I maybe did 2 to 3 grand, which isn't a lot of money to me now, but 2 or 3 grand is a lot of money for most people. So instead of just sitting at my job doing absolutely nothing, I was doing a lot of nothing. I was reading Wikipedia. But I was also doing as much as I could for my own company on the side. So if you have a job right now, don't quit your job. People say to me all the time, oh, I need to quit my job. No, you don't. You don't need to quit your job. I guarantee there's enough time in the day for you to work your job and work your side hustle. Guaranteed, because you're lazy. You don't do shit in your job anyway. You have all the time you need to continue with your job, get your side hustle rolling. When your hustle's rolling and you know the money's coming in, then quit. You don't need to quit your job at the same time. So people say to me all the time, well, should I quit my job? The answer is often no. You don't need to quit your job until you've been through and you've sorted out all the things you've already been over so far in this university. Is money coming in? Why would you quit your job? Is money coming in? Yes or no? No. Well, then why would you quit your job? I showed you already how easy it is to get money flowing in. Get the site online, bang, 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 get the money in, even if none of the fulfillment is ready. So if money's not coming in, you don't need to quit your job. No, you need to do everything at the same time. You can get money rolling in first before you consider ducking out of a job, sitting around at home, and being broke. So that's a very important key thing about jobs, because I get asked that all the time. Next point, and this is a very important one. People, I'm going to make this very, very clear. People do not buy on price. You do not want to compete on price. For whatever company you're going to run, you do not want to compete on price. T2 competed on price, and okay, it lasted a while because of speed, but even nowadays, that would be much harder to do, and I'll tell you why. The people who compete on price are going to beat you. So if you go to Amazon.com and look at the phone cases for 89 cents for the case and delivery, and it's coming all the way from fucking China. How do they make money on that deal? I don't have a clue, but they managed to pull it off. There's too much Southeast Asian and Asian production now. Everyone's producing everything so cheap. There's no way you're going to win on price. You need to sell on brand. Here in the West, living where we live, that's our advantage. We have the whole idea of branding and quality and reputation. These are the things you need to sell on. You do not want to sell on price. You don't want to price people out in the market, but when you're sitting there looking at your prices, you don't want to sit there and go, well, you know, I want to make it really affordable. I've never experienced that. So you've joined my university, I don't know if you joined at half price of $9.99 or you joined at full price. I could have done this cheaper, but why would I do it cheaper? This is the value. The value here is everything I'm saying. This is how much it should cost. So you can't just be looking to sell things as cheap as possible. I see a lot of guys, especially the Twitter gurus, loads of them are selling ebooks for like $17 or $13. How are the fuck you get rich off $17 ebooks? You're not. So if that's the only price people will buy from you, then that shows your brand has no strength, no reputation. If you had genuine strength and reputation, you could sell at a real price. So where your price point lies says a lot about who you are as a person. Do you want to be fucking Lambo? Or do you want to be bullshit? This is where all the ebooks, the little ebooks are. This is where I am. Why can I sell more than them? Why can I sell for a much higher margin, much higher price? Because I have a reputation and I provide a better quality product. So when you're looking for whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to launch, when you start putting prices out there, if you put it up high and you're not selling, and you find yourself really reducing the price to try and get sales, that says a lot about who your reputation is. You need to do some reputation management. You need to build your reputation, build your credibility, build on the point that you're an expert in your field. As you do that, your price will increase. That's the easiest way to make more money, because there's only a certain amount of customers in the world. Let's say there's only 100 incels who are going to buy a book about how to fuck today. There's only 100 of them. That's the only people on Twitter who are going to buy a book about how to fuck today. So the easiest way to make more money is to charge just 100 people more money instead of trying to find more people, especially with Twitter, because if you're selling on Twitter, Twitter following doesn't grow that fast. Your Twitter followers may not be that big, and if it, even it is, let's say minus 30,000, they don't grow very quickly. You get shadow banned, it takes a long, long time. So you only have a certain amount of potential customers, so you want each one to spend as much money as possible. This is the reality of the game. So if you're selling shit cheap, like a lot of these Twitter guys do, that's because they're cheap and they're lame. They're lame. Never sell on price. Also, you'll have more problems and more complaints from people who buy cheap things than people who buy expensive things. And the reason is because the people who buy expensive things are getting Lambo quality. Look, you're getting here all the information I'm giving you. People who buy the cheap things, they're just buying it because it's so cheap. They don't believe in the person. They're just like, oh, what's the worst I can do? I want to lose it $13. But then they'll still feel pissed off when they realize it's garbage. So your number one goal, your number one aim in every business you do is to constantly be increasing prices. You need to be looking to constantly increase the price. And the way you do that is by constantly building on your reputation. That's how it goes. Even if you have to start off at a lower price, you need to always increase the price. You should never get to a point where you price yourself out. People don't buy on price. People buy what they want. If people want something, they're gonna buy it. There's a whole bunch of expensive shit that people buy, trust me, because they want it. So you have to make sure that people want your product. Do not be one of those, well, I'm the cheapest on the market, guys. That never works well. It gives you a bunch of dickhead customers and it stops you making any kind of serious money. It's bullshit. Don't do it. Next, you need to learn to shut up and listen. This is a really important point for business. Super important. This is something I see a lot of people make mistakes with. I'm going to destroy my beautiful diagram here. Right. Most people, once they start a business, won't shut the fuck up about their business. I know so many people who are making money, and yeah, they're making money, but as soon as you start talking about money, all they talk about is how they make money in their business, how smart they are, ego investment, how great they are. That is not going to teach you anything. You only learn by listening. So whenever I'm around people who are making money, I don't talk about money. I mean, it's different if they're friends of mine, I've known them for a long time, we're interacting. But I mean, if I'm meeting people and they're businessmen and everyone's talking about how they're making money, I shut the fuck up and I listen. Because anyone who's making money, one way or another, knows something you don't know. There's a lesson everywhere. So when you interact with someone who's rich, you have to say enough to convince him to talk, but don't talk too much yourself. The more you talk about your own business and how you do things, the more time you've wasted. You already know your own business. You already know how you do things. Maybe if you're asking him directly for feedback, yeah, I do this. What do you think of this? But if you're bragging, blah, blah, and I'm this, and I turn over this, you're just wasting time. Let other people talk. Learn from other people who are making money. Even if they're in an industry which is completely different to yours. It doesn't make a difference. Shut up and listen because somebody knows something. Even Dan, who I ran T2 with. Dan was a crackhead. Dan taught me shitloads about advertising and shitloads about sales. He taught me loads of things. This guy's got a fucking coke problem. He's out of his mind and he taught me things. There's nobody you cannot learn from. You can learn from anybody who understands anything about either sales or making money. So be prepared to shut the fuck up when you interact with these people and sit and listen and adopt it. Be super prepared. Next. I'll tell you another little thing we did at T2, actually. Something just came to my mind. We had T2, and we had another company called Angel. I was 20. I was a dick. I don't know why I called it Angel TV. So we had another company called Angel TV. And what we do is we'd pitch TV companies as normal. And if we ever had a company which was really close to doing it, but for some reason just wouldn't go over the edge, wouldn't buy, then we'd call them up and pitch them from Angel for a tiny bit of a discount. So let's say we're pitching someone at 19 grand, we're trying to get them, they won't do it. Then we call them up from Angel and say, hi, we have a one-time special offer, 18,000, and try and close them that way, even though there was no profit in it. But the point is, that's another little thing you consider, another little business tip. If you have a company like that, if you have a partner, a business partner, or you have some members of staff that they perhaps wouldn't interact with if they're talking to you in the initial organization, if you're really trying to get this order and you just can't get it in, you can always try and pitch as some other company and take the business that way. I know a lot of people who are doing that, I won't say who, in lots of different industries, who are coming along, trying to close the business, closing a lot, but those stubborn motherfuckers are coming along with another company and scooping them up. Keep that in mind. It's something else you can write down and think about. We'll come back to Angel later on in your university curriculum. Next, attention is free advertising. So you need to get good at getting some attention somehow. I get attention because I'm the Don. But you need to find a way to get attention, because all advertising is buying attention, which is fine. But buying attention is more expensive than getting attention for free. And when I say for free, I mean free financially. Getting attention is still going to take time with your money. But you need to find a way to get attention. I think you already understand this. You already understand viral marketing, no such thing as bad press, blah, blah, blah. But finding a way to get attention is a fantastic way to start generating money. Now, what most people do is, you see a lot of people, they find ways to get attention, but they don't monetize it. So for this, I'm going to put in an example of my Star Wars thread. we're going to start putting it on the screen now. When you look at my Star Wars thread, I said something that pissed off the nerds. You can see I pissed off the nerds. It started to go viral, started to get traction. And for every single tweet afterwards, all I'm trying to do is promote my website. I'm doing it in a funny way. I'm doing it in a way that annoys them. I'm doing it in a way that's going to get some interaction. But I'm still trying to promote my website from start to finish. That is the end goal. Get attention, and then do not be afraid to shamelessly sell. But you have to find a way to get some attention first. Now, that's not easy in the modern world because everybody's vying for each other's attention, especially on the internet. Everyone is competing for attention. But attention is key. So finding a way to do it is important. I had a guy who had this is the most simple, stupid example, but it's true. It's one of these guys in Romania, and they wrap cars, and they're in an industrial state. And he painted the entire side of his wall with a huge mural, like a spray paint mural of a car being wrapped. And I said to him, that was badass, how much did it cost? He goes, it cost me $3,000, but it's increased my business big time. I've made all my money back big time. I was like, why? He goes, people look at it when they drive past, and then they see it's artistic, it's creative, and they want to work with us. He got attention. He fucking painted his wall. But anything it takes to get attention. If you have a sign on your company, is the sign big and bright and bold enough? Probably not. There is no such thing as bad attention. In the world we live in now, we live in an attention economy. If you have lots of attention, you can turn that into money. If you have no attention, you're not going to have any money. We're in an attention economy. You don't even need good ideas now. YouTube has proved attention economy. You have fucking morons out there doing nothing on vlogs, talking shit and being complete losers. But because people watch it, because they get attention, they're millionaires. Attention is the currency of the modern world. So if you're going to start any kind of business, one thing you need to consider is, we talked earlier about money in, all your money out. This is your only real business, the money in. And how you don't want to be investing any of your money in anything that doesn't lead back to here. If you can see that bottom one there. But you know what's going to lead to this? You know what's going to increase the number of sales coming in? Attention. Attention is key. Attention is going to accelerate everything. So you need to keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to do things that are a little bit crazy to get people to pay attention to you. Now, obviously, I'm not saying join ISIS or something stupid to get attention. Keep it in mind. But attention is the currency. Attention is the magic formula, that the catalyst that's going to take any company and blow it up fast. So keep that in mind when you're looking to launch your company or you're already running your company. Does my company get enough attention? No. Okay, so which company in my industry does get attention? This one. How do they get it? Oh, well, they pay for advertising, or for example, or they did this viral campaign, or they sponsored this. Are the people taking the attention that you want? How can you get the attention? Find a way. If you have to go and run a marathon dressed as a fucking dinosaur with your company name on the back, then go do it. It's effectively free and it's good for you. Don't be lazy. You have to do something to get some attention. Attention is the key. That's going to be the difference between a failed business and a successful business. Even with the cam girls. People say to me all the time, cam girls, that's not real business. Girls just get naked and they just make money. No, that's not true. Girls used to say, oh, what, you just get naked and you get money. No, it's not like that at all. Making money as a cam girl is difficult. It's a real business. How many girls are online right now? 100,000 maybe? You're trying to compete with all those titties and pussy. It all looks the same effectively, tits and pussy. It's all the same. How do you compete with that? How do you get the attention of men when they have so many choices? They can click, scroll through all the titties. So how do you get the attention? So as a cam girl, with all my cam girls I was training, we would have meetings. How do we get attention? And that's why all these girls do like cosplay and dress up as video game characters, differentiation, anything it takes to get attention. So the cam girl industry is completely an attention industry. You have to find a way to get attention. You have to think about it. So with the cam girls, we did lots and lots of different things. Very small things that made a big difference. Remembered customers' names, remembered the names of their pets, paid attention to them, said hello when they came in the room, called them by their first name, so they all felt valued, so they kept coming back to try and build some loyal followers. Made sure that their thumbnail, when they broadcasted, they had a little thumbnail. So their thumbnail, when they broadcasted, was a really hot one, so they looked good. So people would, oh, that thumbnail looks interesting, click on it. Make sure their room was interesting, a few things in the background, da-da-da-da-da. Basic advertising stuff, but it's all the business of getting attention. Don't forget that, super, super important. Right, next, coming on from the cam girl thing, play on people's insecurities. So I made lots of money with cam girls, and in 3 days from the filming of this, I'm opening my first casino. People have vices and people have insecurities, and if you can find a way to twist them, you're gonna make money. People can't help but lose their money in casinos. The house always wins. People like tits and ass, and they're desperate to have a hot girl. That's why they talk to cam girls. So even if you're running a business which is very traditional, let's say you're running clothing, people like to feel good looking and attractive. You have to twist that angle. You have to put something on the angle so that people go, you know what, I want to be attractive. I want to be good looking. I want to be seen as important. That's what all these brands do. When Porsche and Mercedes, they advertise as a businessman. Mr. Businessman, getting in his car, has his briefcase, Mr. Business. He's important. You're not important. You're a Porsche. You're a nobody. You're a loser. You have to play to people's insecurities. The cam business was the number one for this. Play to people's insecurities and promise with your product that everything's going to be better. So I'll give you an example. So with the cam girls, guys would come along. The guys who are talking to the cam girls can't really get girls, obviously, because otherwise they wouldn't be there. So they can't really get girls. But our cam girl would tell them that they could get girls, or that they could get them. So let's say the guy would come along and say, oh, so what kind of guys do you like? The cam girl would describe that guy. And this is something I had to train my girls to do, because girls are so stupid. So like literally a fat old man would come along and say, what kind of guys do you like? And she'd be like, young, fit, Italian men, or something dumb. And obviously he'd be like, well, that's not me. So there's not gonna be a relationship there, is there? Whereas if a fat old man said, what kind of guys do you like? She'd be like, oh, someone mature, someone who's done playing games, someone who's ready to settle down, I know will value me. All the bullshit that he wants to hear. Sell people what they want. Play on their insecurities. And he's sitting there going, yeah, well, I've been trying to look for a girl like that my whole life, but I just can't find him. Oh, where are you based? If we keep talking, maybe one day we'll meet. 1 year later, 2 years later, taking his money, taking his money, taking his money. You have to play on people's insecurities, and you have to find out exactly what people want. So I don't know what you're going to sell, and it doesn't matter what you're going to sell. What you're going to sell, why do people want it? Right now we're in a university. You guys want it because you want to learn how to make money. That's why. So in all of my advertising and everything I'm doing, I make it very, very clear to you. You need this to learn how to make money. I know more about business than you. I've run more businesses than you have. If you don't get what I have, if you don't get the Hustlers University, you're not going to know what I know, so you're not going to make money like I make money. I identified it's the product. We have it here. I identified the reason you're buying it, and I'm pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. So I don't know what you're going to sell. Say you're selling fucking protein shakes. I don't know. You don't sell, a lot of people will sell a protein shake, best flavor, this much carbs, this much sugar, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Boring. If you're going to sell your protein shake, I'm going to draw a protein shake. I'm going to draw one. It's going to be artistic and beautiful. If you're selling protein shakes, you need to say to people, you won't be strong without the protein shake. You won't be fit without my product. Why are you wasting your time in the gym when you're not going to get in good shape anyway? Oh, you'll get in shape, but you'll be in better shape if you use my product. Fuck the product. Who cares what's in the product? Sell a result. You need this. You need this because of X, Y, Z. Doesn't matter if you're selling protein shakes or the Hustlers University or motherfucking raspberries. Doesn't matter what it is. You have to push that point over and over and over again. Play on people's insecurities. That's what makes people buy. Because they're not going to buy otherwise. Oh, I can go to the gym and I'll get in shape. And oh, do I need more carbs? I don't know. No, who cares? It's all dork shit. The all geek will care, but most people don't care. You need protein shakes or your gym time is a waste of time. Why are you suffering in the gym for no reason? If you drink this one drink, you're not wasting your time anymore. Stop being a loser. Quickly, buy. That's how you have to be. Play on people's insecurities all the time. Next, this is a really important one. And this feeds into one of the points I made earlier about the coffee shop. Let's imagine you go in the coffee shop. You probably, unless you're a complete loner, are not going in there by yourself. The people you're going in the coffee shop with should be the people doing the same thing you do. Analyzing the price of things, analyzing the rent, analyzing how much the coffees cost, how much do the staff cost, can money be made here, could we make more money if we open somewhere next door, is there any gaps on the market, are there any mistakes they're making, identifying problems, etc. Everyone you roll with should be thinking about money. The lesson number 21 is, network is everything. This is super important. If you're a loser and you're rolling with losers, you are going to stay. I'm going to write this down in case you motherfuckers don't believe me. So I'm going to make this extremely clear to you. If you're a loser and you're rolling with losers, you are going to stay a loser. I don't know if you can see that. You're going to stay a loser. Underline. Losers roll with losers and winners roll with winners. Number 21, network is everything. The people around you need to be thinking about money, thinking about hustling. If they're not, you don't need to talk to them. I hear this all the time. Oh, but he's my friend. We like hanging out. Hanging out, why? To do what? Play video games? Make jokes? Ha ha, he's so funny. Ha ha. Ooh, ha ha ha. Jerk each other off? The fuck you doing? If your friends aren't talking about money, why are you talking to them? This is why I started the war room. If you're watching this and you're not in the war room, get inside. Everyone in there is hustling. Everyone in there is interested in increasing their income and changing their lives. That is the point of a network. To increase your life, you're a node in the network. That's how networks work. You got nodes and you got links. You come into the network, you're a node. You know people, you help them, they help you, etc. Network is everything. And in my Networking Brilliance course, if you don't have that as well, I teach you how to meet high-level people and how to make high-level people like you, how to have high-level friends, how to get multi-millionaire friends, etc., how to pitch them for investment, all that. I teach you all in the Network Brilliance course. So you've got the War Room, the Network Brilliance course that will help you with this. If you haven't got them yet, get them because they're going to help you. You need a network around you. You need people on your phone who are talking about money and doing important things. You need to be mixing with them. That needs to be your network. If you're rolling with a bunch of video game playing losers, you're going to stay a video game playing loser. This is super important. Your network has to change if you want to really become a hustler. Everyone around you needs to have a hustle. Even if all the people around you don't have hustles. Remember what I said earlier about finding free staff. Okay, let's say all your friends are losers. Well, now you've got a brilliant idea. So now you're the leader. I want to run this company. You're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. If they all sit there and go, no, I'm tired, I don't have time, blah, 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 then these people are completely useless. They're wasters. Get rid of them. They either agree to work for you or fuck them off. Find some new friends. Join the war room. In the war room, you can link up with people all around the world who are getting shit done. Get the Network Brilliance course. Learn how to get fucking important friends. Your network is everything. I don't answer the phone to broke boys. You call my phone, if I answer, that dude's important. When broke boys call me, it gets ignored. All rich people are the same. I cannot stand being around people who are not on a mission to get rich. That is the only mission I'm interested in. Everyone I hang around with is on the same mission. We ain't got time for no dumb shit. So if you're still participating in dumb shit, you have got to change your mindset absolutely. If your network's full of losers, employ them. If they refuse to work for you, fuck them off, find new friends. If you can't find friends, the war room will give you a network instantly. That's the whole point of the war room. International network of moneymakers. We're not playing any fucking games in the war room. Right. Next point, number 22. Keep your panties dry till the big guy's hard. So, too many people get excited about business they ain't got, or excited about business they do have. This is just monetary exchange, gentlemen. You have to be a fucking professional. James Bond may enjoy fucking bitches, but you don't see him excited about fucking bitches. He enjoys it, but he ain't excited. He's smooth. He's cool. He's never giddy about it. You launch your business. You start to see some money coming in. Money's coming in. You're making some sales. Good. Be happy. Be proud of yourself. But don't be giddy. Don't be like, oh, wow. Don't be going to see clients and like, oh, I can't wait. I really want to work. It's going to be so much fun. This is numbers on a screen, gentlemen. That's all this shit is. Numbers on a screen. You're moving numbers around. Let me get rid of the big loser sign before one of you guys start crying. Oh, he called me a loser. You are a fucking loser. Learn some emotional control. Don't be getting all giddy and shit. Keep your panties dry till the big guy's hard. Don't know why I wrote that down, but that's the basic lesson here. I see so many people get giddy and excited. Oh, we might get this much money. One, you haven't got the money yet. Two, even if you got the money, good. All you have to do you know what you have to do when money comes in the door? Let me tell you, motherfuckers, because maybe you don't know. This is me. Here's my muscles. Again. Money comes into the door on Tuesday. On Wednesday, do you know what I do? I wake up and I try and find some more fucking money. Don't be getting excited about money. Because when money comes in, you're allowed just 2 or 3 seconds of excitement when you check the bank. Then it doesn't exist anymore. It's here, okay, there. Now it's done. This is done. It's in, it's done, it's gone. Even if I still save it, it's effectively